All right, I'm Bret.
I'm Evan.
And we did a treble and bass detector. So here's the high-level system diagram. Basically, we have the microphone, and then we run it into two different types of filters that are actually bandpass, and it basically separates the treble and bass from the input signal that comes from a microphone, and that actually runs into an amplifier because the output of the microphone is so low that we definitely need an amplifier so the Arduino could recognize it. And then that goes into the Arduino, and then you have two different four variants of LEDs for the bass and treble.
Yeah, that line up sequentially depending on how much treble and bass there is. Just some nice visual feedback. So for the microphone, it was just a cheap $3 one we got at Radio Shack. It was pretty easy to set up. It was just 2 pins, one to ground, one with a pull-up resistor to the source, and then we just kind of AC coupled it to the amplifier. So the only real tricky part of it was just kind of looking for what sounds that it would pick up, and it honestly doesn't react too well. The best way to get it to see something was just to tap it directly. Blowing in it works too. Whistling works, but actually when it goes through the filters, it sometimes filters that out. So just blowing, you're tapping, and then it's still like at most like 100 millivolts when it peaks, so we have to amplify it with this non-inverting amplifier that gives a gain of like 11, I think. So that brings it up to like a volt, maybe 2. So.
And then here's our schematic of the filtering. We cut it off between 50 and 500 hertz. Originally, we just had an RC filter, but that was picking up a RC low pass and high pass, but that was picking up a lot of noise, especially like for the high pass. It would pick up like megahertz frequencies, and it was really screwing up our filtering. So we went into a bandpass, and that really got rid of like all of the noise, and it gave us a really good signal to work with.
Yeah, our microphone only like picked up to 10K anyway. So, and for low pass, we made that a bandpass as well, just because the RC time constant of the low pass ended up like giving it like a really big decay and charge time. So if we just made that a bandpass, we'd just make the low band just really low, so it still gets a full range.
Then making it an active filter really helped as well. Instead of just going from RC filter into an active filter, made that cutoff a lot higher and gave us a much better signal.
So as far as the code goes, it just goes into the ADC and just kind of does one at a time. So for the low pass, or for both of them, it just kind of senses what voltage range it's in at a time, basically. As you can maybe see, the low pass has like a much lower voltage range than the high pass. The low pass is usually like up to like a volt or something, and then the high pass is usually like between 1 and 2 or something like that. And then for depending what level it is, it'll like these are like the port IDs for the Arduino, so it'll just kind of tell it how many LEDs to turn on and off. Beyond that, there was just a timer with interrupts that just every interrupt it would output to the LEDs and such, and the reason for that is just if it was in between, just in the while loop or something, it would just be too fast for like the LEDs to blink. You couldn't see it really. So just doing that just allowed you to see it. Wasn't too difficult. Just figuring out playing with it and figuring out like good voltage ranges. So that would like sequentially light it up really well consistently. The hard part.
And some improvements for the microphone, as Evan said, it was like a $3 microphone, and it really cut off at 10K hertz. We'd like to get one that was maybe more expensive and cut off at 20K hertz, so we could have the full range of human hearing instead of cutting off those 10K hertz that we didn't have range for.
Yeah, or just have better amplification or anything. Like that, and we also just planned for there to be more LEDs, like up to 10 LEDs, but we needed like extra hardware in order to like sequentially let them all up, and we used like comparators, and they just didn't work. So we had to just kind of go back to just using pinouts on the Arduino. So if we had more time, we'd like to, if we had more LEDs, then that would allow for just more precision also, so just be more data points. And that's pretty much it. We can demo. It's a background, I guess, actually. microphone with all the amplifiers, filters, everything. Arduino, and then just things. This will be the bass. This will be the treble. So let me pull up some hot tunes. The kids these days are listening to. Doing this, like putting it right against the microphone. Oh, wrong. I don't want that song. You see, it's like mostly bass now, not too much treble. If I maybe go more towards the other part of the song. And yeah, that's pretty much it.